Hello everyone. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel, Get Crafty with Sally. My name is Sally Poole. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I'm going to show you how to make this wonderful Christmas card. I used the Oh Holy Night paper, designer series paper. I used the piece that is just all blue with the stars in the sky. So, interesting thing about this paper, let me grab the catalog. It is in the mini catalog on page 15. It does show up on the retiring list. But I can't find it online anywhere. It doesn't say that it's not available anywhere. It doesn't show up in the demo inventory supply list as no longer available. So I kind of feel like I'm in the twilight zone and I missed something. I don't know what happened to it, honestly. So hopefully you have some of this paper that you can make this card with, or you can find something else. I also didn't see the Shining Brightly paper anywhere. So I don't know, maybe I'm losing my mind. I also used for the card the Stars at Night bundle. My initial thought was to make a card with the Stars at Night bundle with this big star, and as you know, it has the hybrid embossing folder with the matching dies. There's 3 sets of stars. I'm not sure what I did with it right now. Here it is. So this is, the bundle is retiring, the stamps are retiring, and the hybrid folder and dies are retiring. The hybrid folder and dies are 30% off, and that sale is going on right now through January 3rd. So if you like this set, grab it. You know, Stampin' Up! Tends to run out of things too when they go on the retiring list. I also used, let's see, I used just the camel die from the Night Divine bundle. That is also retiring. The bundle's retiring, the stamps and dies are retiring, and the dies are 10% off. So there's another one. If you want that, you should grab it. I think that's all that I have about that. So let me make sure. I think so. Anyway, I'm just mind boggled at what happened to this paper and why I haven't noticed it disappear, because I usually keep up with that stuff pretty good. So let me show you how I made this card, and as always I will have a PDF with all of the supplies that I used, the measurements, and photos down in the description below this video. This also is a Slimline card, and it's not a mini one, it's a pretty good size one, because I really liked this paper and I wanted to get a lot of that night sky and those stars on the card. So that's why I chose the Slimline. So let's first start with I've got two little pieces of Night of Navy paper, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the camera. This smaller one is popped up on dimensionals, and I've cut it out by hand. The taller one is glued down to the paper, the designer series paper, and I actually cut it with this kind of little landscape die from the Regal Reindeer set. So a lot of you might have that. If you don't have it, it's no big deal. It's just really easy to cut that out by hand. So I am going to, let's cut this real quick. And I'm just going to let me grab some tape. Lay that at the top, and I have the measurement for this piece on the PDF. So you can see I've just got it pretty close to the top there. Let me get my mini cut and emboss machine in here. That tape is not stuck to much of anything that's going to hold that die on there. So let's see if we can get it done. That doesn't look very straight. And goodness sakes, it's not going to stick. Straight doesn't really matter on this. You just want some kind of a little hilly looking background behind the camel. So there's that piece. It does kind of put a little bit of a line in the paper from the bottom of this die, but it's no big deal. I'm going to take my bone folder and give a little press. Okay, so now here's the other one, the little smaller one. So I've got the measurement for this piece too, so I'm just going to randomly just cut it in little swoopy, swooshy, whatever lines like that. So now, I don't know if you can see it on this card, I have taken Memento black ink and a sponge dauber and put some black ink along the top edges, and then also kind of a little shadow where the camel's going to be, and then a little shadow that goes this way. So let me grab my chair and a piece of scrap paper and a sponge dauber and my tuxedo black ink. And I'm just going to use the edge of the sponge dauber, not the center. I just will rub a black line along the top edge of this little piece of paper. And then I'll also put a little black shadowing over here where my camel is going to be-ish. And then let's also do the edge of this one. And then as if this were a hill and this were a hill, I'm going to do just a little kind of an edge that goes down. It doesn't show up very well, but it is a nice touch. Excuse me. So let's shadow that in, close our ink up. Get rid of this so we don't get ink all over everything. So now let's take our Designer Series paper panel and we'll glue this piece down. Gosh, I feel really bad about this paper being gone. And I only bought one pack of it. And it's beautiful paper. I meant to buy more, but silly me. Snooze you lose, right? So that goes right there. I had it lined up at the bottom and then it moved. So let's see if we can get it straight. There we go. Next, let's glue our little camel down. This camel has got 3 little pieces that pop out for his little reins. So you want to make sure those little pieces are popped out before you glue him down. Otherwise, they will be a permanent part of your card. Okay, so let's set our camel over here toward the right side. And it doesn't really matter how far down you put the camel because his feet are going to be covered up. You do want him above this hill. Let's see. Let's grab our, well, we'll put that on in a minute. Let's attach this to the silver piece, and let me show you with the silver piece, and you know how I like to save foil. So I cut this out, and then I took one of my rectangle stitch dies, and I cut 2 pieces of foil out of the middle because all that we're going to have is a small, about 1/8 of an inch border of silver foil around the Designer Series paper. So you don't need to waste all that. So let's put some glue on the back of this Designer Series paper. Hopefully I'm staying in the camera. And you just want to go around the edge because you'll have holes in the middle here. I am going to put a little bit on this little middle foil strip. Let me stand up so I can get it straight. Hopefully I'm keeping it in the camera because it is so tall. So let's lay that on the foil. And remember, the foil with the glue is kind of slippery. So be careful you don't get too crazy scooting it around. Okay, that looks good. So now let's attach this piece to our card base. Bring our card base in here. Make sure it opens on the right. And this does have a pretty good border around the edge. I've got it out of the camera again. So try to line that up, make it all even. Okay, so now we can put some dimensionals on the back of this little landscape piece. And I am using the black dimensionals, which I always forget about and hardly ever use. I think I've used them one time before, and I'm using the minis. So let's put some of these on here. The first card I made, I did put white dimensionals on it, not even thinking, and when I was finished and stood the card up, I could see the white. So I took a little black fine tip marker and colored the edges of them, and then it seemed to work pretty good, but this is a lot easier, and I'm sure it comes out a lot better. Okay, so let's lay this down at the bottom. Try to line everything up with the Night of Navy behind it. Give that a good press. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is popped up. And then I have already heat embossed in silver this sentiment from Stars at Night, wishing you the best and brightest holiday season. And there's a die with this set that cuts it out perfectly. So I've also cut the same shape out in silver foil, so you can see they're exactly the same. And you might be saying, why did you do that? What are you going to do with that? So here is a trick you can use. If you want a little border, grab your trimmer or some snips and just cut that in half lengthwise. And then we are going to, I'm going to flip this over and put some glue on the top of it. I have to stand up again. And then I'm just going to lay this right down on that foil. And again, it's really slippery. Whoop, see? So try to get that. I'm having a hard time seeing it with the ring light reflecting. Line that up, give it a good press. And what I usually do with something like this is I just will set a block on it and let it sit for a couple minutes and then come back and do the next part. But for the sake of this video, we will finish the entire thing. So there's some glue on the bottom. That's the bottom edge. This is where I cut it. So we're going to line this up. And hold it down for just a minute. I should have done one ahead of time so I would be sure that it's not going to slide around when we put the dimensionals on. So I think I'm just going to set that aside for a minute, and I'm going to put my block on it, and we can glue our little stars together. So I've cut a couple of the stars out with the dies. These two are different, obviously. These two are the same. And I'm just going to put a little dot of glue on the back of each of these. And these actually line up pretty much the same as this, but I kind of didn't want it to be that way. Scoot that little guy over. Let's see if I can get a hold of it right here. So if you see that, those are the same. I kind of wanted it to show up a little bit better, so you can turn it a half a turn to the left or a half a turn to the right. And again, this is the slippery foil. So there's straight. And I'm going to turn it to the left this time. And try to get it kind of in the middle. Okay, now let's switch the block and let these dry for a minute. And we'll grab some more dimensionals and put our sentiment on. Some little minis, and I'm going to add some regular sized ones too. And we'll take the covers off. And let's see. Hopefully we're in the camera. And I tried to find a spot where I'm not covering up too many of the stars on the designer series paper. Make sure that's straight. That looks pretty good. So give that a press. And then we'll flip our little foil stars over. Give them each a dot of glue. You could pop them up on dimensionals too if you wanted. And find a good spot for that on our card. Make sure it's straight. And then we'll put this one down here-ish. Make sure it's straight. And then I've just added a few of the rhinestone basic jewels to the center of the stars, and I am using the largest ones, which I hardly ever use these, so yay, this card is perfect for that. So there you have it. Isn't that pretty? What do you think of that card? I really like it. So if you're wondering how to mail this, this does fit in a regular letter size envelope. I think they're number 10. So that'll work. You don't have to make your own envelope, and I don't know how you would anyway, that big. But you probably can, but I don't know how. And I also did notice on Amazon that they do have the number 10 legal size envelopes. There's nicer ones than this business one in all kinds of different colors. So if you want to match things up, you can go on Amazon. There's a lot of online craft stores that have them too, but of course, they're a lot better price on Amazon. So there is our card for today. I hope you like it. I'm sorry about the designer series paper. It makes me really sad. But I still wanted to share the card because I'm sure many of you have this paper and you can make this card if you want. So as always, if you enjoy my videos, like, share, and subscribe if you would. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.